I also want to share with you who I think is a game changer, even though we're not officially calling him that today. But he is known as the most famous undocumented immigrant in the United States and recently spent some time in Seattle. That's Jose Antonio Vargas. He is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist and now an author of the new book, Dear America. And he wants people to know what it's like living in the U.S. without consent, which is a challenge that plagues a lot of our neighbors right here at home.
I am Jose Antonio Vargas, and I'm the author of Dear America, Notes of an Undocumented Citizen. I wrote the book to really humanize and personalize what it means to be in this country illegally. I was living a lie. Can we talk about us, talk about people like me, like we're human beings?
I'm actually an undocumented immigrant.
So I was born in the Philippines. My mother sent me here when I was 12. Thought everything was fine, and then when I was 16 to get a driver's permit, I went to the DMV, and that's when I found out the green card that I had brought to get an ID, to get a driver's permit, was fake. And this was in 1997, so I couldn't Google anything. I thought I was literally the only non-Mexican, quote-unquote, illegal alien in America.
Jose Antonio Vargas of the Washington Post.
And I became a journalist, and the only reason I became a journalist was so I could be on a piece of paper. So I figured if I can't be here because I don't have the right papers, at least my name would be on the paper. And I did that for like 14 years, from 16 to 30 years old. And then I got tired of basically lying to everybody, including my employers, like the Washington Post, my friends. I didn't realize that hiding from the government all those years actually made me hide from people that I loved, and even from myself. To me, this issue, as far as I know, is the most misunderstood issue in America. People have no idea, for example, that people like me can't just, quote-unquote, make ourselves legal. There's no process for us to follow. Part of the problem of this issue is we have so stereotyped Latinos in this country, right? When the reality is the fastest growing undocumented population are actually Asian, Koreans, Chinese, Filipinos, Indians. And for the most part, we're kind of invisible from this conversation, right? I lived my life from like the age of 16 to 30 being afraid of this government. They've already detained me. They've already arrested me. They've already done that. The only fear I have right now is not being able to live my life as fully and as honestly as I can. That's the only fear I have. I think the biggest takeaway is that people like me, people here who are illegally here without proper documents, we're the same person as you are. We want the same thing. Like, immigration has always been about family and what families do for each other. And I hope that the takeaway is you have to ask yourself, how'd you get here? Who paid? What was the cost? That's what the book answers.
I love that. How did you get here?
How did you get here?
Who paid the cost?
Right, right. So Jose Antonio Vargas says he knows there's certainly a lot of shame in being undocumented, but he believes people need to talk about it in order to make those changes that are necessary. And he's been collecting stories anonymously through a nonprofit called Define American, which you can find out more by texting American to 206-448-4545. And the video that we were seeing in that interview that we placed over him was from his documentary called Documented, which was just a fascinating piece of work there. So.
And his book is called Dear America.
Dear America.
It's so, just this interview was riveting. And we've had people tell us before who are undocumented, they say, we are trying to be legal and there's not a process. I would never know what that was like because I haven't been in their shoes. But to hear him also say, no, I want to do this. Please give me a straightforward process. And yeah, that was just, it's good to hear another perspective different than your own.
And also, because he came from the Philippines, he's bringing up another issue. We're talking about building a wall. Well, in the Philippines to the United States, there is no wall. So he's saying, we need to open up our eyes in terms of who is being affected by immigration, by undocumented folks, and even in Seattle, the fastest growing undocumented group of people are Asian. As well. So
kind of ironic, since wasn't it last week that we just talked about King Felix becoming an American?
Oh,
right. And so now we're talking about this too. Well, how come he did it, but he did not?
Yeah.
There's processes for all that, but a lot of us don't know them.
It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
No.
Right.
So if you came to this country undocumented, you don't have a path to citizenship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Important story. Thank you.